Hi guys, as usual, all the necessary links in the video description, and down below in the video description you'll also find my test system setup details. Let's start with the review. I think this may be the longest IEM review I've made so far, so be sure to get something to drink and let's start. If you've been following my reviews, then you know that I love electrostats and planars. Until now, my reference was a set of Letshuoer S12, those guys. And I loved them so much that I actually got two pairs, as you can see. Just to be sure that if one breaks, if anything bad happens to one of them, I'll lose them or something like that, I will have the second one as a backup. So that's the S12. I also own other planars, full-size hi-fi man stuff, and small guys like 7Hz Timeless 2. Those guys, they haven't been reviewed yet, but it's coming, it's coming. They've been here with me for a while now. So, when I was contacted by Jesse from Hidizs asking if I would like to review upcoming MP145 Pro, I was instantly on board. These guys will launch on Kickstarter on March the 5th, that's in 3 days, with a starting price of $159 for the first 300 units and then $169 for all others. Remember that Kickstarter prices are significantly lower than regular retail prices that will be working later. There will be also a combo offer for MP145 Pro and AP80 Max Pro for $358, which I highly recommend, but more on that later. You can take a look at my review of this guy. This is an excellent digital audio player, and it pairs well, extremely well with those guys. But as I've said, more on that later. And then there is a cherry on top, as Hidizs partners with WCC, Marine Animal Rescue and Response, so you're not only getting great audio gear, but also helping to make our world better. That's a win-win situation for me. I think I may have made some spoilers already, so let's move to the review part, starting with some specifications. Those are planars with very large 14.5mm drivers with nano-grade membranes. This means, as I understand, that in this revision of MP from Hidizs, we are getting super light and super thin membranes. In planars, that's something that everyone is pursuing. Frequency response is specified as anything between 20 Hz and 40 kHz. Take notice of those 40 kHz because that's quite high. The cable, they are delivered with the cable, and the cable, we'll talk about that in a few minutes, but the cable is specified as 6N oxygen-free crystal copper with silver plating. Why that's important? Because cable of that quality is a significant part of the price. If you'd like to buy something like that separately, not even mentioning the removable plugs, that will set you back a significant amount of money. Now, getting back to the headphones. They are using standard 0.78mm 2-pin connectors, as you can see. The sensitivity is specified as 104 decibels, impedance 30 ohms, THD. THD is super low at 0.05%. That's super low in a headphone realm. Now, let's talk about the build and let's talk about the box contents. In this particular case, I will actually show you the box, so you'll know what you'll be getting with your order. The box is rectangular. Oh, looks like that. Yes. And on the back of the box, you'll find specifications for the headphones. So you can pause the video and read once again what I've just told you. Inside the box, you'll find an excellent choice of tips. Really excellent because you're getting like 24 of them. And from my point of view, this is a very nice set because, as you can see, those tips are changing the sound signature. The black guys are bass tips, bass tips. Those are vocal tips. Those are balanced ear tips, and those are the ones I'm using. And I'll tell you more about that later. But additionally, you're getting anemone silicone tips, and those guys so far could be bought separately as a set with additional box. In this case, you are getting them freely in the box with MP145 Pro. The cable has two sets of plugs. Yeah, that's the second plug. And you are able to choose between a regular 3.5mm connector and balanced 4.4mm connector. As you can see, I was using and testing them with 4.4 balanced connection. The cable is very soft. It doesn't have any kind of microphonic effect. It's sturdy because I don't know if you can see that it's quite wide. It's quite thick. It's not very thin, and it's braided. And still, it's very soft. I've told you about the plugs. Those are standard 0.78 pin millimeter connectors, and you have molded ear hooks that are not super stiff, so they will fit your ears because they can be moved a little. Yes, the box. You've already seen the box. The box is a really nice high quality Fox leather box with springs on the top lid and soft lining inside. Yeah, sorry about that. And most importantly, you are getting two sets of additional nozzles. The red ones, bass ones, and the silver ones for the treble extension. And again, I will tell you more in a minute. Now, getting back to the build. These are available in 3 or 4 colors. I was pretty sure there were 3 colors. Black ones, those as you can see here. The blue ones that have a very interesting hue, looking a little bit like that kind of blue here. And there are also golden ones. But I've seen on a couple of marketing photos from Hidizs that there's also a 4th color looking like, I don't know, a little like light brown or maybe champagne, something like that. Still, I think the black ones are really nice. They are not piano black, as you can see. They have a little soft shine to them, but they are not mirror-like. The blue ones are also nice, and I wasn't sure about the gold ones. So yeah, those are full metal builds. As you can see, I'm using balanced tips and I'm using rose gold balanced nozzles. The headphones have completely metal build. The official weight specification says that these are 9.5 grams, but they are quite heavy. You will not feel that in your ear because the fit is really nice. I mean, that part that will be touching your ear is very ergonomic. That outside part has some sharp edges, maybe not exactly sharp, but some edges, but those will not be touching your ear in any way. There are 2 venting holes on the sides. One is here and the other one is here. The whole build is described as being influenced and inspired by whales. And those guys are very similar, very similar to regular MP145. The difference is that these grooves here are larger. The regular MP145 has a very fine set of grooves here. Yeah, so that's all about the build, and sorry about that, and comfort. And I like the build because they are quite sturdy. Now about the nozzles. You can replace them by just unscrewing them. Each nozzle has a small black silicone washer here. And down there inside you can see a metal filter, so you're not seeing the actual driver. Yeah, so let's screw that in. And let's talk about the nozzles and the tips. As I've said, the tips do actually influence the sound. They differ in the bore diameter and in the length of the canal. The base ones will have narrowest openings, and the anemones and balance tips are somewhere in the middle, with vocal tips having the shortest and widest canals. And they do influence the sound, as the nozzles do. You're getting 3 sets. The rose gold ones that are default on the headphones, and additional 2 sets of the red ones and the silver ones. The golden are called balanced tips, balanced nozzles. I liked them the best overall, and I was using them for my testing and through all of my listening sessions, and I'm using them right now. The sound is just right, as they paired best with also balanced wide bore tips. So this is the best set for me. The red ones are called bass nozzles. These do enhance low end, but I think they add more mid bass than the lowest rumble. But they also do tame somewhat mid range and treble. So that wasn't the best choice for me, although usually I like some good quality bass. And the silver ones are called treble enhanced. They do boost the treble, but they may introduce some sibilance. But they paired very well with the green anemone tips, which removed sibilance, leaving additional detail coming from silver nozzles intact. So that was my second best pairing. Silver nozzles and anemone tips. Yep. And let's talk about the actual sound quality. As usual, starting... Oh, sorry about that. That was crazy. And let's start with the bass. The bass is just right. These are not bass monsters, although they are able to go really low. But the bass never overshadows the rest of the band. It's planar bass, meaning that it's very clean, it's very detailed, and with great texture. Interestingly, it's not cold, if you know what I mean. It's full, not to the extent of dynamic drivers, but very close. It doesn't sound hollow or powerless, it's just right and lets you enjoy clear bass lines in the background of your tracks. And yes, there is no mid-bass bleed. Mid-range. I would say that both treble and mid-range are stars of the show here. Mid-range has superb resolution, but it doesn't make anything analytical. The sound is smooth. The sound just flows in a very relaxed way, letting you enjoy the vocals and all small nuances of human voice. I love mid-range clarity, I love mid-range transparency. I was constantly forgetting that I should be focused on making a review, and I was just enjoying my tracks for the past week or something like that. Treble. The praises will continue with the treble. It's a proper high-end planar headphones treble, open with great extension, bringing airiness and light. It never is sibilant, yet it's very clear. It's both smooth and detailed at the same time. It creates this feeling of effortless sound delivery, like they would be doing all of this without even really trying. I love that kind of treble here. resolution. These are planars. These are large planars, 14.5mm planar drivers. That should already hint very good resolution. But it seems that the membrane is also really light, because you are getting the same speed and delivery as with higher line of hi-fi-man planars. My reference for the hi-fi-man planars are HE6 version 2, and the other one that I own is hi-fi-man area organic. So you're getting this level of resolution here. Yes, they went with flying colors through all of my test tracks, and interestingly, I never felt overwhelmed with detail. The small stuff never forces your attention, but it's amazing how much things they can dig out, especially in live recordings with ambient sound. Anything like concert recordings, anything with people in the room. This is a very interesting thing. Now, moving on to the soundstage and imaging. They sound very open, so you will never have this feeling that the sounds are coming from inside of your head only. Instruments are precisely positioned with very good center image. There is more depth than with most of my IEM collection, but as usual, the soundstage is oval with more left and right space than depth. But you never notice that because they sound very wide and open, so you will not focus on the soundstage. The musicality will draw you in. Comparisons, as I said, I own those guys. Also the gray set. That's the gray set here. Yeah. And I also own those guys. And some other planars, namely from KZ, like PRX, Symphony, PR3, but those are lower priced. They're still excellent, but being lower priced, they do not have that kind of resolution. Now, some detailed comparisons. Versus 7 Hz Timeless 2 versus those guys. They are not actually that large. This is just a front plate. On the back, they are smaller. So 7 Hz sounds less transparent, like it would have a little bit less clarity in the mid-range. There is more lowest bass with 7 Hz, and the resolution is very similar, but MP145 Pro is easier when it comes to picking small details. The resolution with those guys is significantly better than with 7 Hz. Also, 7 Hz may sound artificial, may sound a little bit sibilant with some tracks, while those guys are always smooth and musical. It's very clear when you're comparing them directly. I had very high hopes for those guys, but not. You'll learn that in the full review. Okay, so now MP145 Pro against my former champ, so S12. Those guys are able to go a little bit lower with clean rumble, but although I love them so much that I have two pairs, I have to admit that MP145 Pro has way smoother and more natural mid-range and treble. And again, this is something that gets very clear when you're comparing them directly with the same tips, with the same source and the same cable when you're switching them. And yes, it pains me to admit that, but S12, my former champ, is not as smooth, not as natural in the mid-range and treble as MP145 Pro. These are better, these are my winner. Okay, that should be a spoiler for the summary, right? So let's start the summary. The summary can be very short. These are the best planars and the best IEMs I have heard to date, so they will be joining my collection as the reference planar set. The sound they deliver is rich, full and open and very transparent. They deliver tons of detail, but most importantly, they are engaging and very musical. There are some things that I would change, but they are not related to the sound signature. They could be a little smaller, why not? I'd like them to be a little bit smaller. And the anemone tips could be coming in one more slightly bigger size, because that large does not equal that large, or that large. Those guys are slightly smaller, and I have big ears, maybe not exactly like an elephant, but they are still big. So that size is right for me, and the largest anemone tips, although they sound excellent, they are just a tiny bit too small for me. So that was these were my only two gripes. Other than that, you're getting a super complete package. Maybe I should expect that since they are coming from the same manufacturer, but I was surprised to find they pair extremely well with the green guy, with the AP80 Pro Max. So if you are looking for a complete set, take a look at the review of this unit. I've published this a couple of weeks ago, and be sure to hunt for the Kickstarter price for the set. Those guys are pairing so well that this may be as well your first and the last set of Planar IEMs. Okay, so getting that set, getting those two guys will also be cheaper than getting them separately. That's something that I should also probably mention. So even if you're not going to be using them, I know I'm cheap, but you can get them together and then sell the DAP for a slightly better price. So, but I wouldn't do that. This is really good. This is really, really good. So these get my recommendation as they join my reference gearbox. I hope you like this review as much as I liked those guys, as much as I loved reviewing them. Thanks for watching and have a great day with your music, guys. See you next time.